Uh, okay, so in this sort of overview, I'm gonna there's been some insights into sort of project management and works that looks at this from traditional techniques versus novel models of working, and a sort of a review in and around this, and so in around some sort of background context around this works. So depending upon organization and depending upon organization strategies, project management varies. There are a variety of implements, including traditional bookkeeping, desktop software, cloud software, and novel agile methods of sharing and collaborating. An agile mindset is a set of attitudes supporting an agile working environment, and these include respect, collaboration, improvement, and learning cycles. Pride in ownership, focus on delivering value, and the ability to adapt to change. The mindset allows any individual or teams to effectively plan projects and achieve outcomes. And there's works by Unison team in 2018, Mushiki and Maschetti in 2018 as well. Project management is becoming increasingly important to organize and meet timeframes. Global spending on projects costs both academia and industry billions of pounds annually. The reasons are obvious. Projects aimed to optimize calculated time points are developed not just to ensure project outcomes are met, but also to conform to organization efficiency. Projects are implemented for business capital expansion and the management of time to market goals for new products. There's works by Burke, sort of retrospectively from 1919, and Darrow and team in 2010 as well. Despite advances in the project management discipline and profession, the shared experience informs that numerous projects collapse, which underscores the importance and the need to improve project management processes and performance. A vast body of project management knowledge has developed in recent times. However, history suggests that irrespective of placing traditional techniques and some positive developments like project management technology tools in support to support running such as running such uptake is not always enough to respond to today's organization challenges. There's works by Nidfer and Dolan in from mid 2000 and 2005, and Darrell again in 2010 that look into sort of aims and objectives in around some objectives in around this. So the aims of this sort of overview, this sort of consulting perspective, if you like, excuse me, is to provide a review of project management traditional techniques versus new models of working. So project management the question that can arise from in around project management is what is it? So the specific reasons that prompt organizations to consider project management are not always easy to pinpoint. However, it is one of the most important mechanisms whereby companies or individuals or teams can structure elements of work and processes to achieve positive results. There's works by Asquin and team in 2010, Atkins sort of retrospectively from the 1980s, and works by Basilier and team in 2001 as well. The project management approach is a preferred sort of method is a preferred sort of method whenever a team or teams want to deal with one-time defined projects such as construction jobs, introduction of a new project, or installation of a new technology. The task tends to be complex and involves interdependence of several departments, or the task has particularly great significance for an organization or the team. There works by Bogdan from 2011, Bullen and team in 2009, Clark in 2010, and works by Cook Davies in 2002 around this. The rewards for successful the rewards of successful project management are sort of appealing or attractive. One-time tasks can be accomplished with a minimum interruption of routine business. Chances of meeting cost, schedule, and performance targets are greatly improved. And projects are inherently dynamic and over the duration can take shape in various modalities. Changing project management strategy is important depending upon the objectives and time frame need to be met. There's works by Cordoba and team in 2012, Cowie in 2003, Crawford and Pollack in 2003, and works by Druska and Druska in 2006 in around this. The conflict between traditional functional management attitudes and project management is sometimes too great to permit implementation without considerable upheaval within a company. It is important that any differences in team values are discovered and neutralized before any work progresses. This includes differences in project management practices, work ethics, and beliefs, since these all have impact on work practices, productivity, and meeting project goals. It is critical for any project manager to be conscious of values in formulating leadership and team management strategies to achieve best practice. Identifying strategies for project management is pivotal. So in and around project management as a theoretical field now. So alongside the growth of organizational, or what's been referred to in literature as organizational project management research, the increasing use of computers in daily work life has given rise to a second sort of generation of operations research devoted to computer applications and expert systems for project management, user control, and data keeping strategy. There's works by Madita and team in 2012, Meredith and Mantle 2009, Muller and Turner in 2010, and Nakarato and Neuendorf in sort of retrospectively in 1998, and works by Packendorf Packendorf in 1995, in and around this. All theories share some basic assumptions on the nature of the theories themselves, on the empirical basis for these, and the view of the project as the object of inquiry. Projects as time-limited sequences events are usually divided into three distinct stages. Number 1, development. Number 2, implementation, and 3, termination. Development in its turn is usually further divided into conceptualization and planning. In the traditional project management model, 3 stages are sequential. The implementation of a project is always assumed to be preceded by development and succeeded by termination. Following this, an internal project logic, the theoretical field of project management, can be described in terms of planning, controlling, and evaluation theories. There's works by Madita and team in 2012, Meredith and Mantle 2009, and again works by Rosenu in 1998 and Rudolph and team in 2008 around this. So in around this as well, some bases in around strategies for project management. So every project requires clarification of aims, objectives, identifying action needed to reach these objectives, establishing critical points on milestones en route, estimation of time available required to achieve, estimation of time available and required to achieve the milestones. Sort of the main skills from team members, colleagues, and or collaborators is required to progress. Best way to document completion of sub-objectives and how best to disseminate or summarize project successes. There's works by Al Sabah in 2001, Fisher in 2011, Godarzi and Chegian in 2011, in and around this. All projects involve some form of information management. Information can be encapsulated manually or automatically. The works by Skolmolsky and Hartman in 2009, and Anantamula in 2010, in around this. Information may be shared electronically in integrated systems, transferred by word or mouth, or lost in scribbled notes on a file folder. Well-structured project management strategies can provide better organization of information from the time that it is created until it is no longer needed and or eliminated if there is technical leadership and technology competence. There's works by Antamula in 2008 and 2010, and Edward and Morrow in 2001, sort of retrospectively around this. In this sort of overview, there's basis in around a sort of a model of information technology competence with dimensions and components, and the overview in around this is where there's for example in around IT information technology competence, for example, can be split into two divisions. There's explicit knowledge, and then there's tacit tacit sort of IT knowledge. So, for example, explicit knowledge can embosses sort of technology, applications, systems development, management of information technology, and access to IT information technology knowledge. And in line to sort of tacit information technology knowledge, there's aspects in around there's the experience and cognition. Experience can include sort of personal use of information technology projects, management of information technology, and cognition. Can surround in around the knowledge bases around the cognition can be in and around sort of process view and vision for the role of information technology. So onwards in around this is traditional models of sort of some of the traditional models of project management. So companies have developed paper-based functionally centered systems to manage information sort of in one sense. And there's works that have been documented by Huff in the noughties in 1992 and around this. According to one study, approximately 1% of a corporation's data is in computer system available for processing, whilst 99% is non-coded in the form of paper, microfiche or other media. And there's works by Kingsman and team in 1990 in and around this. A separate study has informed that only about 5% of a firm's documents is in digital form and able to be stored and accessed electronically. There's works by Keane in 1991 in and around this. Traditional methods of project management have included pen to paper note taking, Gantt charts, wall calendars, organizers, filo-fax organizers, diaries, logbooks, disc, microfilm, or other media. Works by Edward and Morrow 2001, Huff again in 1992, and Kingman and team in 1990, and Keane in 1991 that have evidenced some aspects, some bases in around this. Prospectively, information communication technology, or ICT, has been used to improve operations and processes, including projects. Effective use of IT information technology in managing projects assumes greater importance because projects are often used to accomplish strategic objectives and goals of organizations. There's works again by Skolomowski and Hartman in 2009 and Anamatullah in 2008 who have written some bases have written bases in around this. Project management is certainly is increasingly employed as a means to accomplish various corporate and individual results, such as the implementation of new processes, capital expansion, and the management of time to market goals for new products. In around this now, some bases around the role of technology in project management. So a technology is one tool or a basis that may be used as a part of the information management process, and an information management strategy. Is a plan to improve the process. There's works by Edward and Morrow in 2001, Holzel in 2010, and works by Huff in in 1992, in and around this. And so with so many areas for improvement and many technologies for project management, sound information management strategies are required or needed to help guide business investments in work process modification and the implementation of information technology. Based on the literature previously sort of referenced, the strategies must be technology independent. The functions enabled by any one technology represent only a fraction of the entire information management process. Technology use in project management strategies should also provide for the integration of information enterprise wide and avoid being limited to a functional or discipline focus. Again, those works by Edward and Morrow in 2001 in and around this. So now in following in keeping with the sort of role of technology in project management, some bases in around the novel methodologies. The novel methodologies of project management. So alongside the growth of this sort of organizational project management research, the increasing use of computers in daily work life have given rise to a second generation of operations research devoted to computer applications and expert systems for project planning, control, and risk analysis. There's works by Packendorf in the mid 90s in 95, who has highlighted some aspects and bases in around this. Apart from the planning models stemming from operations research during the 1960s, for example, the field of project management has been mainly preoccupied with concepts such as life cycle planning, risk analysis, and project valuation. The implementation of planning models, i.e., how to make them useful to project leads, has also been crucial as a means of improving project performance, while also seeking to achieve other business objectives. Many corporations have implemented various technologies for effective project management. In around sort of cloud technology, cloud technology now. There are many technologies marketed as tools for improved information management, but options can also be overwhelming. There's works by Kingman and team in 1919, Keen in 1991, works by Kerzner in 2006, and works by Edward and Morrow in 2001 who have highlighted some aspects have evidenced some aspects in and around improving information management and around technologies as a basis. And although several information technologies may offer similar solutions, each one has its own unique capabilities to differentiate itself in the marketplace, making the selection process both challenging and problematic. There's works sort of retrospectively around this from Zhang and Klein in 1998, Kassajian going back to the early the late 70s, and works by Lavender in sort of retrospectively 1996, and Jacques and team in 2008. Cloud technology has revolutionized the way individuals and teams project manage. Project management by cloud is a model for enabling abundant, suitable and real-time network access and shared access to a shared pool of configurable computing properties. So, for example, network servers, storage applications and services, and that can be swiftly provisioned and released, but with minimal struggle or service provider interaction. There's works by Quick and Chew in 2013 in around this. A few cloud-based systems include, for example, Trello, Slack, OneNote, DropBox, Skype, and Google Drive. These are just some of the sort of models, new some of the novel models in some contexts, and agile methods or modalities of working, and works by Springer and Miller in 2018, Vollmering and team in 2017 have highlighted some bases in around this. Here now, there'll be a sort of an overview in around some of these sort of sort of cloud-based project management project management toolkits, if you like. So Trello to begin with. So Trello is a cloud-based project management application originally made by or developed by Fog Creek Software in 2011 and sold to Atlassian in 2017. Trello has a variety of work and personal uses, including real estate management, software project management, school bulletin boards, lesson planning, accounting, web design, gaming and law office case management, risk application programming interface or API, as well as email in capability, enables integration with enterprise systems or with cloud-based integration services. And there's works that have been highlighted by Trello as an organization in 2018 in around this. Perhaps one of the best functions of Trello is its capacity for an individual and or team to organize workflow, termed or referred to as agile working. This means that irrespective of what stage or process elements of activity are, agile working allows fluidity of work without hindrance, or even if there is a waiting period on one activity before moving on to the next. Organizing through Trello means that elements of work can be moved around without compromise. Tasks and projects can be organized into what have been referred to as sprints, thus making them more approachable and manageable, which thus allows workflow to continue in an agile manner, so that there is sort of a basis in for example, no reason to stop one aspect of work in context of project management before moving on to another task. For example, Trello can be downloaded onto smartphones, which makes it appealing or attractive as a project management application for corporate and public sectors. The more recently created cloud-based application, for example, Monday.com also uses similar API to Trello. So in and around and following sort of Trello, there's also Slack. So Slack is another cloud-based system launched by Slack Technologies in 2013. It provides a set of proprietary team collaboration tools and service integration. Slack has some advantages because it allows because it incorporates sort of Slack to Slack sort of core-based sort of system for web calls and webinars. Files and notes can be shared between individuals and teams, and Slack has sort of multifunctional and implements an agile workflow through its sort of Geekbot three question sort of stand up. So for example, what did you accomplish since yesterday? What did you do today? And what are your barriers? Slack is used at public and corporate Slack is used at public at public and corporate levels. It helps prompt a streamline workflow, which is good for task management and project management, as works by Springer and Miller in 2018, who have highlighted some bases around this. Slack also implements something that is referred to an aspect that is referred to as Scrum, which is short for scrummage, as used in the game rugby, which is an agile way to project manage. Usually, IT computer software developers will apply Scrum. Will apply a Scrum Agile working for software development. Scrum is often perceived as a methodology, but more than that, Scrum methodology is the Slack framework. Is a Slack framework for managing individuals and processes. Again, like in as in the game rugby. So moving on to sort of a basis in around sort of Microsoft OneNote. So Microsoft OneNote is a software program for freeform information gathering and multi collaboration. It gathers users' notes. So for example, irrespective of handwritten or typed, drawings, screen clippings, and audio commentaries. There's works by Barber and team in 2009 in and around this. Notes can be shared with other OneNote users over the internet or a network. OneNote was available as part of Microsoft Office, and this version is or was abandoned, and only a feature reduced and touch optimized Windows 10 app and through Windows 10 app sort of availability. It is also available as a free standalone application for Mac operating systems, Windows RT, and Windows Phone or iOS and Android systems. A web-based version of OneNote is provided as part of a OneDrive or Office Online. This version enables users to edit notes through a web browser. OneNote somewhat similar to Trello. Prompts sort of users to plan workflow in an agile manner. This allows users or prompts users to work on several tasks at any one time without waiting on the completion of one before starting another. And there's works by Turner in 2003, Turner in 2006, There's works by Wysocki and Lewis in 2001, and Zhu in 2006, in around this. So following on from sort of OneNote, Microsoft OneNote, a little some bases in around DropBox as well. So DropBox defined a new sort of more ubiquitous service delivery model in information technology. The cloud service model applies to all kinds of computing resources and applications: emails, metadata, queries, computing nodes, virtual virtual machines, storage services, databases, files, apps, etc. There's Dropbox. Dropbox sort of successfully created a very simple mechanism to access the service: a local sync folder on a user's device. On a user's device, for example, the sync folder as a default is a transparent service endpoint to share and synchronize users' content. On the other hand, collaboration and teamwork services are usually delivered as web services, such as Google Docs, Office 365, and Dropbox. Office 365 and Dropbox Paper. Web technology allows to deliver application level functionality in a web browser with ease and flexibility, surpassing traditional desktop application. There's works in around this by Mosicki and Maschetti in 2018. Dropbox also encompasses an agile workflow. It allows individuals and teams to access files and make changes and save. This means that whoever has access to files and or data can see updates made in real time. This makes Dropbox an effective cloud storage facility. The Agile function is different to that of Trello and OneNote, simply owing to its unique selling proposition. Its unique selling proposition, or unique selling proposition, or unique selling point, or USP. That is Dropbox focuses on cloud storage. Dropbox is used to space save, so that files or folders no longer need to be saved on a desktop computer, for example, which makes it good for hard drive space saving. And Dropbox is generally has been sort of documented as a sort of a cloud storage familiar to millions of consumers, and it is designed to be sort of user friendly, rather than being secure and scalable, or allowing administration within a business context. Following on from Dropbox, a little bit in around Skype as well. So Skype is a telecommunication application software product that specializes in providing video chat and voice call, video chat and voice or video calls between computers, tablets, mobile devices, and smartwatches, for example, and through the internet and to regular telephones. Skype was launched in 2003 by Skype Communications. Additionally, Skype provides instant messaging services, and there's works by Molnar and Pereni in 2011 in around this. Users may transmit both text and video messages and may exchange digital documents such as images, text, and video. Smartphone apps for project management are also on the increase. Are also on the increase, and this is perhaps why Skype, Trello, and Slack allow project leads and teams to collaborate and communicate on several projects at a time, thus streamlining work processes on the go, In around this as well, a little bit, some bases in around Google Drive. So much like Trello and OneNote. Google Drive is a free service from Google that includes word processing and presentation components, enabling multiple authors to work together in real time. It has version control, permission-based sharing, and instant messaging feature that enhance the potential for project management and collaboration. There's works by Rowe and team in 2013 and works by Eunice and team in 2018 and around this. Google Drive at the same time has an Agile inbuilt workflow, and this functionality is just one of its USPs. Google Drive has demonstrated to fundamentally change project management practices through methods that go beyond simply increasing the efficiency of information distribution and sharing. The use of Google Drive for project management prompts a more flexible approach to and for individuals and teams for streamlining workflow. In around this, some bases that align to smartphone technology or mobile cloud computing. So mobile cloud computing is also sort of pivotal, is a pivotal developing area, but this will not be however at the same time won't be discussed in as much depth here. However, suffice to reference that all the above project management cloud technologies have multiple functionality in that they can be synchronized to desktop, tablet, tablet or mobile or other or through other on-the-go portable devices. Given that mobile apps are delivered remotely, and for example through the World Wide Web or the internet, this allows speed and flexibility, smarter options for sharing resources and integrating data. In this work, in this sort of overview, a little bit some bases in around sort of the main features for mobile cloud technology. So number one, mobile cloud technology facilitates the sharing of resources, again through the internet, to smartphone or portable device or devices. Applications use fewer device resources because they are cloud supported. Mobile cloud technology supports a variety of development approaches and devices again, and devices are connected to services delivered on an application programming interface API architecture, and mobile cloud technology also improves reliability with information backed up and stored within the cloud. And there is a resource by IBM from 2019 in and around this. in around some aspects, some basis, around delegation and having the right team in context of project management as well. So where project management is concerned, project leads project leads do not only follow a product life cycle, for example. They project leads have to have a basis in around where they have to take a sense of responsibility on and own sort of the basis in around that product life cycle in aligned to sort of where technology is a basis. And project leads tend to be responsible for the success of the product of a product, but which also require them to take care of sort of technical and business activities, product strategy, product planning, strategic management, orchestration of the organization, functional areas as well. And where industry is concerned, it is difficult to project manage without having some basis in adjacent disciplines. For example, marketing or developing or marketing or development. There's works by Springer and Miller in 2018 in around this. Individuals and teams tend to be motivated by challenges and opportunities to further career goals. Those who are assigned to projects are almost always intrigued in accomplishing personal and professional goals in addition to completing project responsibilities. Having the right team involved on the appropriate projects that calls upon expertise is pivotal. There's works by Jacques and team in 2008, and Zhang and Klein in 1998, and Katz in 1991, and again works by Anantamula in 2010. It is important to understand the distinction between management and leadership, which is not always obvious. Project management is usually focused on classical functions such as planning, organizing, and controlling. Both management and leadership are important. In general, management is concerned with making decisions about processes and functions in order to improve operational efficiency and effectiveness. Leadership, on the other hand, is about motivating and guiding people to realize potential and achieve tougher and challenging organizational goals. Among leadership styles, situational leaders focus on various tasks and relationship behaviors. There's works by Hersey and Blanchard in 1996 in around this. And transformational leaders may inspire followers, meet developmental needs, and encourage new approaches and more effort toward problem solving. There's works by Seltzer and Bass in 1990 and around this. One may argue that transactional leadership style, which is based on an exchange of reward and work. Which is based on exchange of reward and work, and is more situated to organizational processes, whereas transformational leadership is useful when one is concerned. In this sort of overview, some bases around the priority order of people related sort of factors. So explicit knowledge, so in line to sort of explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge, So that some aspects in around explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge in line to priority order and people-related factors. So number one, defining roles and responsibility, communicating expectations, employ consistent processes, establish trust, employ consistent processes, facilitate support, manage outcomes. In line to delegation and implementation, change management may also be critical in meeting project management objectives. Change management is a process, tools and or techniques to manage the people side of change to achieve the required outcome or outcomes. Whilst literature has sought to address the disconnect between project management and change management, cross-discipline interaction efforts thus far have only touched on the tip of the iceberg. So, for example, in around policies, practices, and processes, ignoring the below the surface subterranean cultural component that can divide or unite teams. On any given project, team shared assumptions drive the expression of shared attitudes and behaviors. There's works again by Jacques and team in 2008, Zhang and Klein in 1998, and works by Kasserjian in the late 70s, in late 70s and around this, and again works by Lavender in 1996. Change management also relates to how a project is defined in various ways by considering diverse perspectives of project supplier and project owner, where one focuses on project deliverables and the latter on transformation of the owner organization. First from the supplier's perspective, a project is an operational activity that is carried out in a similar way for different project owners. A supplier distributes project outputs based on an owner's request within a fixed project lifecycle. The second approach is based on the project owner's viewpoint. For the project owner, the reason for launching a project is to realize better operational benefits or advantages than the current capabilities offer. Contrary to the project supplier's project management perspective, thus owners should enhance advantages through turning project outputs into organizational outcomes. So in and around some discussion, in and around sort of based around on the discussion and some concluding bases around this. In addition to some summary points and some future recommendations to sort of close off on this. So there are in around the discussion. Then there are limitations to current technology. There are limitations to current technology that restrict a range of application and usefulness for project management technology. For project management technology where there is a distinct function, that being organizing any number of tasks and ensuring user-friendly functionality. Retrospective research highlights several studies focused on linking information communication technology and knowledge management and models to ensure best practice. Works by Murchand and team in 2000, Janix and Hoffman in 2002, and Chang in 2002, and King in 2002 as well. It is important to highlight here that project management is ineffective without decent knowledge management, i.e. individual and or teams need to know where to acquire knowledge to fulfill any number of tasks respectively. And then in line to this, what about homework, and what about homeworking and or mobile working? These are not to be mistaken for agile working. Homeworking and mobile working is essentially classed as styles of working that relate more to a place or location in concept in the concepts of agile and flexible working. And then there's in line to this, there's hot desking and touchdown, and where these are commonly used in surrounding sort of corporate project management. Information communication technology and partnerships are also considered vital influences when it comes to project management, especially comprehension in context of problems attributing to failures associated with project management, especially in comprehension in context of problems attributing to failures associated with project management, joint severity of project management, to ability to form effective teams, appropriate leadership, persuasion, negotiation style, good communication and problem solving. Soft skills and knowledge management make a considerable difference to project management efficiency. In around the conclusion, then, defining project management procedures and individuals is the first and most important step for handling and running projects effectively. This will lay the basis to generate precision, connect expectations, and employ dependable developments. The aim of a project management is to create trust in ensuring outcomes, and guidance plays a role in founding trust. Given the technology assists information sharing, team growth, competence, and efficiency motivating factors that can lead to knowledge sharing, team development, and innovation, and reliant on the leadership role in establishing trust and open communication. Project management comes down to number one, understanding how best to streamline workflow preferences. Number two, how best to organize and delegate people. And three, incorporating best methodology to meet deadlines. In and around the summary and some recommendations, then this review provides a this sort of review provides a brief review of project management, traditional techniques versus new models of working. The novel models of working allow more streamlined ways of measuring productivity. Individuals and or teams can see how much has been achieved because can see how much has been achieved because work is tracked and traced smarter. This also means that project leads can audit and report on areas that may need improving and or developed. This could be a project management process and or individual teams. In present context, novel also means agile. The way individuals and teams project manage today has substantially expanded over the last decade. There are now several mobile apps and cloud software sort of packages that essentially allow project management to be more effective through delegation and collaboration. In around sort of the recommendations. This overview outlines just some of the novel models of working, and these have also almost paved a new generation of project management, such that the traditional techniques, including pen to paper, note taking, Gantt charts, audio recording, wall calendars, organizers, filo-fax organizers, diaries, logbooks, discs, and microfilm have somewhat become obsolete. Applying novelty has also has a positive impact on service developments. Creativity adds rigor and integrity to project management missions. Ultimately, individuals and teams should implement a mix between traditional techniques and novel models for project management to meet best practice. So that draws the end to this sort of overview on project management, traditional techniques versus novel models of working. This was a sort of a review in around this sort of consulting sort of perspective, and there is in this works there is a sort of an abstract as well, and the main points. So the main points for any sort of prospective review on this include for example, project management is usually focused on classical functions such as planning, organizing, and controlling. Both management and leadership are important. The proliferation of cheap or free and easy to access information communication technology, cloud technology for space and project management toolkits over the past decade has created opportunities for public and corporate sectors to adapt and implement originality to workflow patterns compared to previous generations. Mobile cloud computing is becoming more popular, especially by information technology software developing organization, given that mobile apps are delivered remotely delivered remotely and over the internet or through the World Wide Web, and this allows sort of speed and flexibility, and finally, individuals and teams can now take sort of advantage to implement sort of these methodologies into everyday working to help task and project manage several areas of projects at any one time, and on a sort of on a broader from a broader basis as well. So thank you for tuning in on this sort of consulting sort of overview on again project management. Thank you.